In this practice exercise 6.20 pigLatin, we're going to write a method called pigLatin. It accepts as a parameter a scanner representing an input file. Our method should, preserving line breaks, print out the input file's text in a simplified version of pigLatin. And so pigLatin is basically an English variant where the first letter of each word is moved to the end. Now, the rules for translating pigLatin in this code are as the following. So if our word starts with a vowel, which is A, E, I, or U, we're going to append yay to it. Now, if it starts with a constant, so that's basically anything else, we want to move said constant to the end of the word and append AY. So that's the example right here. And here's what we should be converting. So I'm going to go over the solution. We know it's going to be public. We can put static. It's going to be a type void because we are not returning anything. We're simply printing. It's called pigLatin, and we know we're taking a scanner, and we'll just call it input as our inner header. So that is our only parameter right here. Now we know we are going to want to examine every line. So looking at every single line, we'll have a while loop, and we'll do while our input dot has next line. We are going to be inside of our while loop. So we're going to continuously go as long as we have something to go through. Now, we want to take a look at this specific line, right? So we have input has next line. Let's store this line, and then we will scan through it. And once we scan through it, we can look at each of these individually and do what we need to do individually. So what that means is, let's say we have our scanner line, and it's going to equal to a new scanner. And inside of here, we're going to take this whole row. So new scanner, and we'll have inputs dot next line. So this is where we officially get that next line right here. It's stored in line. And we're going to want to run this through our while loop while we have something next in here. So while we are able to continuously look through here, we want to be in this while loop. We'll do while line dot has next. So that's where the has next part comes in. We are going to store the current token inside of a string. So we'll do string, and we'll just call this the full is equal to line dot next dot to lowercase, because if it's at the beginning, we want it to be lowercase if we're appending it to the end. So string full is equal to this right here. Now we also want to get the first character in case we need to append it to the back. So we'll do character, we'll call this first for first character is equal to full dot char at, and then this is at index 0. So that's how we get this. Now we're going to do our checking. So we've kind of done everything we need to do so far. We've set this up for success. And now if it has a vowel in front, we are just going to simply append yay. Pretty simple. So if our first is equal to the character of A, or, and I'm just going to copy this because we have to do this a couple times, or our first is equal to E, or it's equal to I, or it's equal to O, or it's equal to U, we are going to want to basically just append yay. So we can simply say, I'll go on to the next line because it's getting kind of long. We'll say full is equal to our full, so the string that it is currently, and we're appending yay to it. We could use a string builder to just like append to it, but this is a little bit easier. We don't have to call that method. Otherwise, what we're going to want to do is we want to take out the first letter of our full and append it to the end and then add a y. So we'll use substrings for this. Full is equal to, let's take out the first character. We'll do full dot substring, and we're going to start this at index 1. So it kind of omits the first character. And then we're going to append to this first. So essentially what we're doing is, like, this doesn't start with a E, I, or U, a vowel. So we'll take S, we'll put it at the end. That's what we're doing with this right here. And then we're going to append AY to it. And then we can end this line. And that's pretty much it. Once we're done with this, we can officially add, or I'm sorry, not add, but print what we have out. And then just put a space in it as well. So printing, we'll do system.out.println, And then inside of here, we are just going to simply print our full because we've been updating it this entire time, and it should be updated at the end. We can end this parenthesis, end this line. We're going to want to end our inner while loop because we are currently done looking at this word. We're going to want to look at the next word. So we end this while loop while it has next, right? Once it's at the end, it's going to break out of this, and we want a new line, right? So we'll do system dot out dot print line, just like that. We can close out this while loop, and we can close off this method. So that's the code that I would use to solve this. If you have any questions, you could leave them in the comments below. Press submit. We have not passed one test. And that's because I believe, oh, right here, I have print line. So every single time that this runs, it's going to be printing a line instead of printing out on the same line. Let's get rid of that, resubmit it, and we passed one out of one test. And so that's how I would go about solving for practice it exercise 6.20, which is pigLatin.